building a brand. Okay, and how do you build a brand? I know that some of you will ask, how do you build a brand? All right, so how we actually build a brand is we choose a niche. Okay, you choose a niche, number one. And then after choosing a niche, you must be able to understand, okay, this is a niche. Let me just give an example. I'll just give an example of myself. Okay, can we mute Timo? Timo, your voice is out there. All right. Okay, thank you. All right, so now, Anish, I'll give an example of myself. When I was just starting in this industry, I started with relationship coaching. Why? Because I had gone through a series of things. I had some experience. I had gone through a broken family, and so many things were happening in my life. So no one told me that it was a niche by then. That is 20 years ago. No one told me that, Hilda, in order to build a brand, you must choose a niche. So for me, I just bumped into things. So I just decided, you know what, social media era, I have a Facebook account, I have an Instagram account, I have Twitter then, and I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to write about relationships, whatever, because they were so touching and so hurting. So whatever came to my mind, I started writing about relationships. I remember getting so many people asking me, but are you heartbroken? Are you going through, what is exactly happening? But in my heart of hearts, I knew that if I had faced these things and my family had gone through these things, there were so many people that were actually going through the same thing. And every time I posted, someone told me, oh, you spoke to my situation. Oh, this is what you do. So you realize that I started building a brand without knowing that I was building a brand. I chose one thing. Everyone around Kampala, around Uganda, East Africa, or globally knew Bahati or knows Bahati for one thing, that my core will always be relationships, and not just relationships. Now, that is the thing about niches. It's possible that you can actually choose a niche, and then you niche down even within that niche. Now, for me, it was relationships, and I went down to narcissistic and toxic relationships. So many of you that have known Bahati, you actually know that I am a no-nonsense person when it comes to relationships. I mean narcissistic relationships, or narcissistic partners or spouses, and toxic partners. So that is exactly who I am. I get angry every time someone tells me about, even if I just smell about it, even if that is why I'm not neutral, I go extreme into it, because it is painful, and I know so many people are actually going through it. So I chose a niche. Okay, so after choosing a niche, I made sure that I showed up every single day. Every single day on social media. I would post like thrice in a day. I would make sure that I have my posts that I have, I have come with from social media. Actually, I was given a chance to be on radio. From radio, that is how NTV, they saw me on, they actually heard of me on Spirit FM, and so they came for me and they were like, you know what, we really need this on NTV. And I did NTV for 5 straight years. Now you see that one thing led into another, because then by the time I got into brand influencing and public speaking, I had chosen a niche, and I was talking about my niche, and I had researched about my niche. I knew who I was talking to. You must know your audience. What is your audience? Are you talking to women? Are you talking to men? What exactly do you want to deal in? Some people are niching in cosmetics. Some people are niching in, there's all sorts of niches, and there are 5 lucrative niches. So Kutesa, I hope that you're on this call to actually get this, okay? Because then we have relationships, we have health, we have money, that is finances. We have we have a number of them that are very lucrative. But you realize that even if it's in relationships, relationship has so many niches as well. Health has so many niches. For example, there are people who are nutritionists, and even in nutritionists, there are people who are child nutritionists, and then there are people who are adult nutritionists. There are people that are in, even the niches themselves, the financial coaches. There are those that are dealing with debts. There are those that are dealing with investment. There are those, so that means there are endless, it's an endless spectrum of niches that you can be able to choose from and be able to tackle one thing at a time, okay? And be able to actually handle it very well. So while you're looking to niche down, make sure, and by the way, these days now, it's no longer even about fitness and health, and then relationships, and then money, and then business. And then it's not just about that. You realize that people are into content creation, people are into dancing, people are into choreography, people are into videography, people are into, as in, they have made brands and they are standing out in every, as in, think about anything. You can create a brand selling eggs and people will love your brand and adore it and actually go ahead and really do amazing things. So choose a niche, understand the problems of that particular niche. What are people facing? For me, I knew that people were actually disrespected. People were dating people that were not into them. I knew that people were dating people that were toxic. So now I wrote down like 100 problems that people were facing. So every time I opened up my microphone, every time I was hosted on TV, every time I got a chance on social media, I would write about these problems. And then that is how people would be like, but it's like you're in my situation. It's like you know my boyfriend. It's like you know my girlfriend. This is exactly what I'm going through. Why? I was looking at their problems. I looked at their desires, and I made sure that I create content that communicated to that. So now I know their problems, and now I'm creating content. Okay, so these are just steps. The niche, understanding the problems, understanding, creating content. Okay, and then you go ahead and start the promoting journey and the selling and the selling journey, because then you cannot just sit there. You have to be able to create packages. You have to be able to create things that people can be able to buy, or how they can be able to consume you, and then how they can get in touch with you in case they need to endorse. And then with public speaking, still you choose one topic or one niche. You start speaking about that. People get to know about that. We niche down, and then we can be able to spread out. Right now, I started with relationships, but right now I don't just speak about relationships. Right now, I'm in full-time mentorship. Right now, I'm in media. Right now, I'm in real estate. Right now, I'm in business, multiple businesses. So that means I have credibility to speak about so many things, but the core of it all is narcissistic and toxic relationships, and then the businesses that are run on a daily, and helping business people to be able to actually make sense of their businesses. So you realize, in a nutshell, I do most of this in the mentorship. Okay, so if you need to be able to further invest yourself, because then what we do is we nail your niche we find your niche together. We understand the problems. We understand the people that you're creating the content for. You create the content, and we show you how to create the content. Then you sell and promote and collaborate, and then before you know it, the visibility is out there. Because what I usually do in the mentorship is we create brands that are marketable and visible, okay, and profitable. MVP brands. Your brand has to be an MVP. It has to be marketable, it has to be visible, and it has to be profitable. Okay, so Kutesa, we will, if I don't want to take too long on that, but at least I've given you a shell to look at. Let's go to Woman of Grace. Hello, good evening, everyone. Personally, business yange yakona. Coach, I feel I've tried, but nothing seems to be moving. What criterias must I use to boost it? Now, remember, we have not actually talked about, now, is Woman of Grace around? Woman of Grace, are you around? All right. I don't know if Woman of Grace is around, because what I needed... You're around. Okay. Can you explain to me what you mean by kukona?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yes, Coach, I'm around.
Yes, can you explain to me what you mean by kukona?
Like kukona, like I've not shifted for a very long time in my business. Like, even though I've tried putting in more effort, like advertising, added in more, like capture, I feel like it has failed.
Okay, what business is it?
I do accessories and phones.
Accessories and phones. Okay, so you have reinvested, but you feel like it's not shifting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what have you done in order for you to be out there, market yourself for people to know you?
Come again?
What have you done in order for more people to know you or to know what you do and what you offer?
For now, the best I've done is posted on my WhatsApp statuses.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me just briefly get into it because I have encountered so many people that actually are in the same business, accessories and phones, and most of the times they feel like they are shy they cannot put themselves out there. They have the capital, they have reinvested, they have stocked their shops, but remember, in the world where we're in, it's a steep competition that it's possible you're in a place where there are 100 shops that are doing the exact thing that you're actually doing. So you realize that in this case it becomes so hard for you to be able to penetrate the market because there is someone that is selling next door, selling the same merchandise, and you need to be able to beat that kind of competition. Now, the best thing that I can give you right now, woman of grace, is to be able to create a personal brand. Okay, to create a personal brand. I know you will tell me, but I am shy, but you know, I'm an introvert, you know, and I don't know how to go about it. That not knowing how to go about it, that's simple. We can actually deal with it. But you being able to risk, you being able to put yourself out there and your merchandise out there is something that we must be able to, is a road that we must be able to take and to be able to do. All right. So that means I want to give you a few criterias. I know I have my baby here, quite disturbing. All right. All right, I've locked him out. Okay, so now we need to be able, because you posting on your status, that means it's only people that know you and people that have saved your number are the only ones that can be able to buy from you. So now we need to be able to create a wider pool for the customers. Do you have a WhatsApp page? I mean, a Facebook page? Woman of Grace? A call, please mute. A call, please mute. Proceed, mute. For everyone that gets into the call, please mute your microphone because we are competing. Woman of Grace, now you're talking about Facebook, you're talking about Instagram, you're talking about choose what works for you. But again, I will not tell you what really works for you because you want to try out everything that can be able to work. So whether you are using X, whether you are using Threads, because this content can be repurposed. So now we are talking about that your niche is the phones and accessories. You know the people that you're selling to, you know their problems and what they need. You need to be able to create content, video content that you can be able to post on your pages. Can we have some people mute? I feel like we have so many voices going on. Proceed. Proceed. Okay. Proceed and a call. I think you really need to be able to mute. Bella, can you be able to, can it give you access to mute them? Okay, so now you have your niche. You're in accessories and phones, and then you know the people that you're selling to. Okay, because you know what kind of phones that you're selling, what kind of price range, who are your the biggest clientele. You'll find that the biggest clientele for you is mostly women and men that are between maybe the ages of 25 and 35. You know yourself, you've been serving these people. So that means you must be able to speak their language. what are most of the problems that they are asking you? What do they come with? Do they come with battery issues? Do they come with, for example, they have spoiled screens? Do they come wanting to buy, you know, whatever it is that they need? They've been coming again and again and again. You have created the expertise or immersed the expertise. So now you know what their problems are. Can you be able to create content around those problems? Because you cannot dodge as a businessman and woman in this age and era to say that I'm only using my status. There are only so many people. Remember, a person holds a phone for how long? Unless it is stolen, they are going to hold it for 5 years. But it's possible you're telling someone that, you know what, you need to be able to upgrade. There is this phone that came. You know, this is the functionality. People are looking for functionality. They're looking for good cameras. Content creators, even those that are not content creators, they are looking for particular features on the phones. Can you talk about the features? Can you talk about the new stock that arrived? Can you talk about that you have just restocked? Can you tell people where you are found? Can you give them your number? Can you put yourself out there? You cannot run this business as a faceless business, okay? Because this is a small business that you are operating, and you can be able to be a brand ambassador for your own business, and people can be able to like you. Now, it's possible that you're not just going to talk about the phones and the accessories all the time, but it's possible that you're actually going to talk about, you have something that you're interested in. Maybe you're interested in relationships. Maybe you are interested in current affairs, everything that is happening. Maybe you are interested in music, and so you can be able to tell them, guys, did you hear what, you know, do you know that I went to this page and, you know, I saw Kasuku, and Kasuku was talking about Chitaka Elijah shorts, and I went and looked for Chitaka Elijah, but this song has refused to get out of my head. Now you are formulating, you are injecting your personality. Now people know you as a fun person. People know you as an outgoing person. They come to your page to consume the other side of you, but they can also buy the phones and the accessories, and you can actually even establish other things. So you cannot say I am running a business in this age and era, and you're just in your arcade and hoping that people are going to walk in, okay? And you can deliver the phones. When people go on TikTok, record a video. There is a lady that actually came to for the mentorship. And so I asked her, okay, they've told you about the mentorship. You want to sign on, but what exactly do you want to do? And she was like, you know what, for me, it's only, I'm selling phones. I import phones and accessories. That is all I do. Power banks and, you know, housings and stuff like that. That is what I do, but I need to be able to grow my business. We went through the same criteria. She paid her money for the mentorship, and when I gave them the assignments, because the day you sign up for the mentorship, I actually give you assignments. So I gave her the assignments, and part of the assignments was to go through the criteria of her niche and finding out who she sells to, and then creating content around it. And I was like, I know you are shy, but it's possible. Okay, start without your face. Okay, just look at the phone, talk about its features, and, you know, tell all these people. So this is what happened. She went and did it the first time, the first ever video that she did. She told me she sold more than 16 phones just out of that phone, because people were coming to her shop and they were holding a phone in their hands, and they were actually moving to the shop. And so most of them were like, I saw you on TikTok and I really liked that phone. Can I look at it? And people were buying phones. And so she was like, Coach, I have never seen this in my life. I have always been an introvert. I've always sat in my shop, and I just waited for people to show up until I felt like my shop was going under. Why? Because people were no longer buying, and, you know, other people are putting music outside of their shops. Other people are bringing dancers. Other people are shooting, you know, content and dancing to every rhythm that comes out and every trend. But for me, I can't do that. And I told her, you know what? You don't have to dance to any trend. You can actually shoot videos. You can actually talk about your daily life. You can talk about so many other things, but talk about your business and put it out there. Let us know. We will not know that you have a business until you actually put it out there. So my dear, you saying that my business yange yakona, and I feel like I've tried, but nothing is working. Believe me, you have not tried everything. So now let's go the side of personal branding. Let's go the side of content creation. Let's go the side of putting our business out there and letting everyone know that this is what we do. And once we are consistent with it, we are going to create trust, and people are going to, you're going to become the go-to person. Whenever you speak, I was like, what? I want this type of phone. I go to so and so. So most people are even going to become your brand ambassadors. Why? Because now they can endorse you. They know you. Maybe they have bought from you and things have worked for them. So it's very possible to actually take your business out of stagnation. And then you take it back to the growth zone. You need to be able, because we have the start, we have the growth, and sometimes after the growth, we go into a plateau or a stagnation of some sorts. And now we need to be able to boost it or revamp it. And the way you revamp it really matters. So in case you ever need a one-on-one, please let me know. We can, or usually we can sit down and we can have a one-on-one. All right, woman of grace, in case you have any questions, you will forward them. Let's go to marketing. Marketing is one another big problem that most of the business face. Ways on how someone can reach his or her clients, marketing goods and services. Okay, let's have some people mute, please. Nkonge, please mute. All right. So now marketing. So you realize that we actually have the same problems. Do you realize we have the same problems? Remnant. Remnant, please mute. Okay. Bella, you might have to just put out some of the people. I don't know if we can be able to exit some of the people. All right. Okay. No. Don't cry. Okay. Yes, it's okay. I'm coming. All right, are we good to go? Okay, so Bella, please do something about it, but I need to be able to go to the next one because we are not going to finish them. We have a few minutes left. Is there a way you can take them off the call? Okay.
You can call her directly and
please do that. Please do that so that we can be able to go on. Otherwise, we can't. Okay. Please let me know if it's done so that we can go. That's what we're waiting for. All right. Seems like there's a bit of quiet and peace. Okay. So someone is saying that marketing is one of a big problem most of the businesses face, and ways how someone can be able to reach her clients. And I was saying that, do you understand that now we have actually the same problems? If you cannot market yourself, that means you're leaving so much money on the table. That means that you are getting only a fraction of what you should have gotten. You cannot sit with your merchandise, sit with your bracelets, sit with your phones, sit with your clothes, sit with your cars, sit with your candles, sit with your ghee, because I have seen so many of the businesses that we have right now. And you know, when we say that Monday is market day and we put our things out there, remember in this group we are actually marketing to the same people. But remember, you're marketing to the business people. These are not the end users. That means you should be out there creating more avenues and creating more outlets for you to be able to get out there. Now, this is another thing I'm throwing into the mix. For those of you that can be able to actually go ahead and go through it. When we talk about branding, branding equals to reach and reputation. Okay? Reach and reputation. Because again, there is no way you can market to a small group of people and you expect much more results or much more profits. That means you need still to go to the side of creating a personal brand, because people do not just buy businesses. People buy people. They want to know you. What do you have to offer? Who are you? You know, so they want to know. When they see, you've seen people on maybe Facebook, on Instagram, and you've seen them for the first time, and in your heart of hearts, you're like, but who are you? Why are you even telling me that? And sometimes it takes this person talking about themselves, going on a journey, and so you're like, this is who she is. And by the way, even if they sell so expensive dresses or expensive shoes, after some time, you're like, but let me also buy these shoes because people are buying. I don't know what, but let me buy. The shoes are 500,000. Let me buy. And all of a sudden, you have been lured into buying a shoe of 500,000. Why? Because this person got out of their way. They got out of their WhatsApp status and they went and established their reach, and they widened their reach. The reason as to why people promote, people even sponsor ads, they put good messaging, and that's the other thing. Because you cannot just put yourself out there and say, let me build a personal brand and then let me just post anything. No, even when it comes to creating content, we talk about messaging. Now, messaging is how the people that you are selling to understand what you are talking about. Are you speaking their language? Can they relate? Do they understand? Okay, you can't be talking about uptown things and yet you're selling to downtown people. You can't be talking about mature content and yet you're selling to teenagers and youthful people. So that means you need to go back and understand the messaging, create the content that is within the messaging and addressing the people that you want to buy. Sometimes people do not buy from us because we are not well positioned and because our messaging is totally off. You are just saying, you know what? Hey guys, I have shoes, please come. No, we are not going to buy. These days we have big heads. Even ask the clients. So if you have shoes, tell us how this shoe is going to look good on you on a date. Put on the shoe and go to Serena, go to a certain place, walk in it, take content while people, and when I look at your leg, by the way, even if my leg is bad and tiny, but your leg is nice and juicy, if you put it, I'll be like, I think if I put on that shoe, I'm going to look like that. So before you know it, I have bought your shoe. No, but because you have put yourself out there and you cannot run out of content ideas. Some of us tell me that, I have run out of content ideas. No, it's because you're not creative. It's because you're not thinking outside the box. It's because you're not putting yourself in a community like this that can be able to talk about how to position yourself. Even if you're selling pancakes, even if you're selling underwear, even if you're selling, people are niching down to underwear. People are niching down to gumboots. People are niching down to, do you know that there is someone who is just importing bubble gum? They are niching down in bubble gum, and guess what? They are the richest men in Chikubo and downtown. And how are they marketing? Some of them are actually selling not to the end users, but they are selling to the middlemen. And the middlemen are selling to the end users. You've seen, that right now, Coca-Cola wouldn't be advertising. Okay, because now for them, they are not just going traditional media, but they're also doing traditional media and digital marketing. That means they are on your Facebook, they are on your Instagram, they are on seasons like Christmas, on seasons like Easter. They prioritize family time because that is the core of their marketing. And so you will see them out whenever there is a big day, ED or something. You will see them come out full force on all social media platforms and even on traditional media. But Coca-Cola has been here for how many years? Okay, so if you ask yourself that you started your business last year and now you are saying that, you know what, things are getting hard. No, I want you to widen your mind, to think outside the box, talk to people. That is why when I called for this session, I knew that few people will actually attend. But I know that the few that are going to attend, if they can be able to put into practice what we have talked about, your businesses are going to boom. There is a difference between, and let me tell you, this is the time for you to create your personal brand. and be able to shine out there. Otherwise, as time goes on, it's going to become too crowded. Right now, you'll tell me, oh, but it's already saturated and it's already crowded. Let me tell you, everyone that is putting something out there is making a sale, because very few people, you see how we've talked about this, very few people are going to put them into practice. Let me just say, if we are 100 here, only 5 people are going to build personal brands. They are going to put their content out there. They're going to mind about their messaging. They're going to mind about their positioning, and they are going to become famous for what they stand for. And guess what? You're going to find them 2 years from now, and they will be running a very nice business, a very profitable business. And you were on the same call, you had the same information, but the people that are not going to act are the ones that are many. So you're not competing with anyone. You're only competing with yourself if you can be able to do and put into practice what you are meant to put into practice. All right. Okay. So that was about marketing. I think we have another question here. We appreciate you, Bahati, for this. May God bless you. Your wisdom and love for team building is well appreciated. My question: at what point should I be able to adjust in a business idea that's less effective? And I will tell you this: sometimes you start with a business idea, and it is something that you really liked, but it's something that I will tell you that every idea, by the way, has a place in the market. Okay, but again, it also depends on whether you are passionate enough or committed enough to run it. Every idea for you, you will say, but for me, I really can't sell, cars. Do they move people? Where do I even find people with a lot of money that can buy cars? People are selling cars and they are moving. That, I can't deal in real estate, looking for clients. So you realize that God, in all his wisdom, he gave us different passions and different capabilities. That is why we are running different businesses now. If you start a business, let me say you start a salon, and you actually started it because you thought it was lucrative, it was nice, and you've seen other people, whatever the reason, because we have different reasons for starting businesses. Some of us copy and paste people's ideas without having an inclination or our minds gravitating towards it. All right. So most of us, we get stuck because then this was not our idea, or it's not something that we really liked. That is why when you go to passion-based businesses, they tell you it has to be something that energizes you. It's not a business that drains you. If it's a business that drains you every day, every time you wake up, you're like, oh God, now I have to go and do this. Oh God, again, it has come to morning. That is draining you. And believe me, you're not going to be creative about it. You're not going to push it as much. You're not going to position it. You're not going to create trust with your people, and you're not going to last in it. So the earliest time for you to make this decision is actually the earliest we get to know that this is not something that is going to work for me. It's possible it has worked for other people, but it's not going to work for me. It's like when employers ask me that, what is the earliest time you can actually make a termination? As soon as you know that this employee cannot work for me, terminate. Why do you go in circles? What will they think? What will they? No. You do not prolong your misery, but do not prolong the other person's misery. Yes, it's possible that they might not understand it then, but if you feel that with all your knowledge and with all your years of operating this business, that this is not going to work, then make sure that you make that transition. And sometimes make sure that you actually do a consultation. If you want to, sometimes it's about repositioning of the same idea that is actually going to work, that you don't need to actually cross totally to a different idea. So when you consult from a third party, from another person that can look outside in to your business idea and be able to shape it and be able to reposition it and be able to rebrand it, you might find that it's actually working so well, better than when you had just started. Okay, so I need you to be able to, and sometimes I know the market can be, quite volatile. It's not predictable. So sometimes an idea or a business can go down and it's not its season at all. You've started it in a very bad season, and all of a sudden a booming season comes and you're like, hey, but I left that idea and yet now it's booming. So businesses have seasons. So also look into that. But the earliest time, as soon as you feel that this is not going to be effective, Seek for a consultation before you make a decision, because then you'll be able to look at so many options and even what ideas that can be able to be effected and they can be able to be effective. Okay, so that is Cassie, I hope that that has actually helped. At what point one can be able to adjust a business idea. I hope that it has been able to answer your question. Marvin, you're saying that my question to Bahati is, what are some business ideas one can start from school or campus while studying? What's the expected minimum capital one should be able to invest? Now, do you know that the minimum capital for you to invest to start even a business at school, if you have created relationships with people that actually have this merchandise, the capital will even be zero, because people are looking for ways and channels for their merchandise to move. People are downtown, they are importing things, and things are remaining in their stock, is remaining in their warehouse, and they have no outlets. So if you're the kind that can be a frontliner, that can decide to say, you know, let me take this stock and be able to sell it, and I can bring the money back, that is after you've created relationships. But I will tell you, I have seen people sell scrunchies, I have seen people sell shoes, I have seen people sell clothes, and they actually prosper. Definitely, you have to know that your target market is the campusers. The campusers love cheap things, affordable things, but good things. So now you must have a test in whatever you are doing, okay? That, you know what, for me, I know of men or or guys that are at campus and they're dealing only in women clothes because they love trendy things, they love shiny things, they love colorful things, and yet those things can be found at around 3,000, 2,000. If you go to Owino, you can be able to select some of these things, and let me tell you, they have, as in, sometimes they get to a place and school is no longer priority, but business is priority. Why? Because money is really coming in. I have seen guys do food kiosks. If you're the kind that loves cooking and you're like, okay, I can do a fast food stall, and these people actually buy fast food at different hostels, and you can be able to actually do venture into that. People love trendy shoes, but cheap shoes at campus. So these are things that you can do. You go and then you just decide still to build a personal brand so that in every hostel they can know. You're looking for what? You're looking for bras? There is this guy who sells bras. You're looking for what? Undies? There is this guy who sells undies. He has every size. What are you looking for? You're looking for food, for someone to deliver food. There is this guy who actually cooks pilau and then chips and chicken and maybe some liver, and they can be able to deliver to your hostel. So you realize that there are so many business ideas that you can practice as a campus going person. Okay, so the minimum, just like I said, some of it can be free, but some of it you can, even 500,000 is too much, even 200,000 can be too much, even 100,000 can be too much. Just imagine if you just decided and say, you know what, let me do juice. Okay, so what I need is a small fridge, and I can be able to sub-rent with someone, and maybe I can be able to start. But this juice, I'm not just going to sell it within the shop. I am actually going to tell people, move around, create a page, send all these, because some hostels have group campus WhatsApps, and campus, there is so many WhatsApp groups. I want to be in every group. I want to make sure that everyone knows about my fresh juice. Okay, so I have some branding, I have a name written, and people are actually going to get mad about this. They're going to order for this, they're going to, and before you know it, you have grown too big. For most of you that know Dalhousie started at campus. We have a woman of grace. Is it you that is unmuted? Okay, we need to be able to mute. So Dalhousie started at campus. He went to treat his father in Nairobi, and he was admitted, and he was the one making juice, and the doctors showed him how to make the different juices for a cancer patient. And so when the dad passed on, when he came back and he did not have school fees, he was like, you know what, I have this skill, I can make juice. And so he started making juice, putting it in someone's fridge. Before you know it, he bought his own fridge. Before you know it, he has his own company. People are inviting him. Right now, Dalhousie is big, okay? So you can start anywhere. The point is, if you really feel you badly need to do it, and you don't sit on yourself and fold your hands and say, you know what, let me just go on and just do whatever everyone else is doing. Other people might be enjoying themselves at campus and passing time, but it's possible you're not supposed to pass time, Marvin. All right, my question to Bahati is, what are some of the business ideas I can start from home, and how to get clients? How to get clients, I've explained that part. Okay, you can be home and you can have hands. Okay, you can have hands. There are so many things. Just like the person that is selling ghee, the person that is doing what are they called, snacks. Okay, people do crisps, people do bagia, people do so many things, roasted peanuts, sim and stuff like that, and they do them from home. There are so many things that you can do at home right now. Do you know that there is such a thing as being a social media manager? You can actually be a social media manager. You can be there are so many endless options for you to actually do at home. Okay, if you decide that it's what you want to do. People are doing books, and they have black books, and they get the material from downtown, from NASA, and then all they buy is glue, all they buy are papers and cardboards, and then they go home and start making books, and they take them to supermarkets. People do paper bags, branded paper bags, and they do them and they sell them. So you realize that you can be home and you can still have a lot. You can do a lot of things even when you are at home. For the part of getting clients, create a personal brand still. A personal brand can be created while you're in your bedroom, and you can be able to go on social media. You can be able to tell people about what you do, and you can be able to flourish in that way. Okay, Godson, I think we still have an issue. Guys, all of us here are mature. If we say mute, please mute. Thank you. All right. Okay, so for the businesses at home, those are quite endless. And after I run through these, I think we will get someone who will be able to, in case someone wants to say something, contribute. You will be free to contribute. People are doing farming at home. Especially those that have lands. People are leasing lands and they are farming on big lands, on acres of lands in seasons. They understand the seasons, and then they are able to actually go ahead and do it. People are actually even running businesses in their homes. Okay, they buy merchandise, let me say clothes, they have them at home, and they are delivering. They are just using a boda person, and now they are able to deliver some of these things, dispatch them. People are selling things. So you realize that you can do juice in your own home. You can cook food. Do you know that you can cook food and be able to distribute it? You go to companies, you go to and tell them that, you know what, this is what I do. Just imagine there are companies where people can only afford lunch of 2,000 or 3,000, and you're telling them, I cook pilau, I do juice, and then I have some chips, and then and you're able to give someone a good lunch at 2,000 or a good lunch at 3,000. How many people? Well, you can go to 10 companies, sell your idea, and people are able to say, you bring something, let's try it out. People are making yogurt in their own homes. Some of us are just consumers of yogurt, but people are in their homes making yogurt, making 100 liters, making 300 liters. The bottles are there to be bought. Branding is not so hard to do. That means you can literally do anything at home. Okay, so, and I mean, people are looking for people that can be able to even post for them, people that can be able to promote their businesses. Guys, it is time we wake up. You can be at home and you can do so much. All right. Do you know that there is a business where people are even selling chopped lettuce, chopped cabbages, and even chopped onions and chopped tomatoes, and they're delivering them. They're buying the zip bags that go into fridges, because there are people who are busy. There are people who go into homes and other people's homes and do meal prepping. And they're like, okay, this is a busy person, and what I can do is I can go to his home or her home, just like people do washing. People go and prepare food for the whole week. They leave it in the fridge, and now this person just gets, whatever they need to get and warm it and eat it. And their whole week is done. People are doing meal prepping, okay? So there are so many things that you can be able to do. you can't say that you've run out of ideas. All right. Okay. Someone says here, that is Kobe. You're saying, my question to Hilda, how can one maintain one's capital in a business? Keep it in mind that this business is where every expense is coming from, i.e. rent, home, business, school fees, food, paying workers. I am really failing to maintain the business due to capital issues. You're not failing to maintain the business due to capital issues, Kobe. The issue is you are not making enough money in your business. You're not making enough money in your business. So that means whatever you make, the small that you make, the quarter that you make, you are actually using it. So I need you to be able to ask yourself, how can I double my net? How can I triple? How can I quadruple? How can I be able? And let me tell you, if you set that goal and say, you know what, I've been getting, let me just give an example. I've been, if I reconcile my things and balance my things, my business, at the end of the month, I am balancing net of 1 million shillings. Let me just give an example. Guys, remember I said we are mature. You get on this call and mute. Okay? We are mature. For those of you that are on YouTube, I am so glad. I am so glad that you're here. I know that I have another call that I am on, but I really wanted us to share this moment. I didn't want this to pass you by. I hope that you can be able to actually to tap in. Whitney, on YouTube, you're saying I was actually selling noodles and Lato milk at campus, and to be different from others, I could cook for those that wanted for me to cook for them. Trust me, I used to make money. Just imagine. Guys, if you get on the call and you can't mute, get off the call. If you get on the call and you can't mute, get off the call. I hear Mnyankore speaking. Is that Brenda Nagasha? Bella? Please put some people off the call if we can be able to put them off the call. Because Brenda, you have ears and you can hear. And I know that you can be able to mute. So if you hear your name, Brenda, please mute. Your voice is disturbing everyone on the call. Now I have to get angry because we are doing this to be able to better ourselves, and we do not want people that are dragging us behind. Thank you very much. All right. Yeah, that's what happens when you get into mentoring. Sometimes you have to bring Chiboko. Okay, so your question, Kobe, I'm saying your problem is you're not making enough money. That means you're leaving money on the table. Now, I don't know your type of business. I need to be able to get in touch with you so that I know your type of business, what are the leakages in your business, what aren't you doing, what level of commitment aren't you going through. Some of us, we stay long in our comfort zones even when we have businesses. But ask yourself, how can I grow this business? Not how can I grow the capital. No, ask yourself from wherever you are, how can you make more sales? How can you make more money? How can you double, triple the income that you've been getting? Because then if you double it, if you triple it, you can be able to get more money to reinvest in the business and your needs will be taken care of. You'll even have some money to save. So you are not making enough money, Kobe. We need to be able to find ways of how to make more money. And the easiest I can be able to give you is to actually be out there. It's possible that you have stock that has been seated in your shop for the longest time. And now you feel the need to make more investments and buy more things. But again, there is merchandise that has been seated. How do you get it out? Can you make a sale? Some people, how do you even make a sale? Because when you make a sale and it's only the people in your arcade that know that you made the sale, your reach is affected. Your reach is how many people you can get to. So can you get more eyeballs? Can you get more visibility so that you can market and so that you can be profitable? Remember, I told you we must create an MVP brand, a marketable, a visible, and profitable brand. Okay, I think we have so many people that are really quite joking or jokers on the call. So next time, guys, I'm taking you to Zoom because then I will have full control. Bella, this is the last time I am doing this. I need to be able to have control and mute and terminate some people who are not serious, because we have people that are serious on the call, but the people that are unserious, that are not muting, are actually wasting our time and dragging us behind. So next time we're going to do Zoom, because then I will have full authority. At least I have a Zoom room that can contain more than 300 people. So that will be enough for us to be able to chat. I still have someone with an open microphone. I don't know why we cannot hear. Is that you, Mercy? Please mute your microphone immediately. Mute your microphone or move out of the room. Proceed. Bella, I can see you're typing a message. Can you be able to actually move them out? Sorry? Proceed, you even have the audacity to speak while you are still unmuted. Let me go to the last question before I actually take the live questions. The last one. So, Kobe, we have still a business to catch up on. I don't know your business, so we can be able to open the avenues. You having these bills, these are normal bills any home has to operate on. The rent, the feeding, the school fees, the paying workers, that is all normal bills. But you are not making enough money. That is the question that we should be able to ask ourselves. Okay, someone else said that my question, what steps should one consider to start what will turn out to be a successful small business? What should one know? How much should one have? Okay, now this is a very generic question. Very generic question. We are all human beings that have passions, that have seen other businesses, and we have liked what other people are doing. If you see people making candles and you're like, I think that's a business I can actually do. You should not be in a place of what business should I start? There are millions of businesses around you. Look at what other people are doing and get something that you have at least a liking towards, and make sure that you say, okay, can I try out that? Because again, some of us, trial and error. Some of us, by the time we come to a place where this is very good, this is really working, we must be able to try one or two things that do not work, just like they say that you kiss so many frogs until you get to your Prince Charming. So now we don't want to kiss so many frogs. That is where we want to be able to lead the process. The people that come into my mentorship are people that, for example, I have learned this, or I have done business, I have done all this for the past 20 years. And now I don't want you to go through the 20 years in order to get the knowledge I have. I want you to be able to learn this in condensed like 6 months. Can you be able to learn everything that can I pour into you? Can I hold your hand while you create your brand, while you market your business, while you change your products, while you create digital products? Can I hold your hand? I'm going to be your accountability partner. And that is what we do. So, my dear, there is no, you can start a business as low as 50,000, as low as 50,000. But you have to ask yourself, where is your heart running to? What do you feel like doing? Because then you will commit to it. For example, if you like baking and you start, there's someone who told me that the way they started baking is they had wheat flour in their house, and they were so tired because they were not earning money, but they had this knowledge to actually bake, the baking knowledge. So they had some half flour that had remained, and then they had, I think, some eggs, like you're in a home. She was a stay-home mother, and then, she just had to add a few things, and she did not spend more than, I think she told me she did not spend more than 10,000 or 15,000. And so she made her first cake. She actually posted on social media and said that, you know what, for anyone that needs cakes, please place your order. So now someone places an order. Now she's making the cake with what she has in the house, and she's selling it at 100,000. And now she has money to go back and buy wheat flour, buy eggs, and then post again on social media and ask people, please let those orders, keep them coming. Now, people on social media think she has capital. She actually doesn't have capital. She sold her first cake using everything she had in her house, and now she has money that she can make more 4 cakes, and now after selling the 4 cakes she has money to make more 8 cakes, and that is how her business grew. Right now she's one of the trending cake makers in Kampala, but she says she started with ingredients that she had left over in her home. So you realize that starting a business is about creativity. It's about you wanting it so bad that you cannot give an excuse of my uncle didn't give me capital and my mother and my husband. You don't need anyone to give you capital. It's about being creative, okay? It's about you being creative. All right, if we have any live questions, Bella, the questions that you sent me are the ones that I've been reading out. But our time is fast spent. I know that most of you are busy people, so I need to actually let you go, but I need some feedback from 3 to 4 people. Anyone? Now you have a chance to unmute.
Court, someone who and wanted to ask questions.
They wanted to?
I don't know. He wanted to ask question. I think it's called Matthias.
Okay.
And so I was going, Matthias, please, I'm not an ask coach your question.
Matthias? Okay, Matthias, if I see you speaking, then we will go proceed. I think you refused to mute. But now I realize most of the issues that we have in our group, that's my number, 0757 117 117, and I will get you into the Dream Club. But for those of you that I realize that most of our problems are around creating a personal, building a personal brand, okay? Building a personal brand, digital marketing, because most of you have ideas and have businesses, but again, you're not making enough money. You're living in a lot of money on the table. You just don't know how to put yourself out there. Some of you, it's because of doubt. Some of you, it's because of fear. Some of you, you know how you look at yourself and you're like, but me. Some of you, you're like, I don't have gadgets. You don't need gadgets, okay, in order to actually do this. So you realize that all these excuses are keeping us poor, are keeping us stagnated, and they're keeping us in a place where we just admire having a certain kind of lifestyle, but again, we don't have it. The reason as to why I created Dream Club, the word itself is dream, because we have dreams of a better life, but we must be able to work towards them or to walk towards them. We want a better life. We want better marriages, but most of all, we want better businesses, because without money, life can be so hard. I know that money does not buy everything, does not buy happiness, but tell me, when you're poor, still, you're not going to be happy. If you are lacking, you're not going to be happy. So in order to create the dream life, we must be able to live outside of our comfort zones. And now we must be able to learn how to create personal brands, okay? How to package our businesses, how to message our business, how to position our businesses in this age and era where everything and information is coming at us at neck-breaking speed. And one thing I know, the reason as to why I created the Dream Club again, is because I know that you can read all this information on social media, but application matters, execution matters. And the reason as to why we are in this club is to help each other to be able to execute and hold one another accountable. So out of the Dream Club, by the way, Bella, I'm just sharing this randomly, but out of this Dream Club, we are going to create another, a deeper dream, the Dream Club MVP. Those people that are willing to take a deep dive and take a chance on themselves and say, for the next 5 months towards December, I need to be able to celebrate a different income. I need you to be able to celebrate, at least I will be known out there. My business will be known out there. I'm going to brand myself and be at it and show up. Let me try it and fail, but I will not fail to try. I need people that are going to take a chance on themselves. And we are going to actually get out of this group and go into an isolated group where we are going to keep each other accountable. Because just like they say, and the Uganda saying that says, so we will have all kinds of disturbances, people that are dragging us behind, but I need to work with serious people that know that they really want this and they want it so badly, so that we will celebrate end of year. I need us to have an end of year party. And I need us to look back and say, look what the Lord has done. Look what I committed myself and actually showed up every day. of this year, of this remaining year, and look where it has taken me. Some of you want to be brand ambassadors and endorsing brands, public speakers. You're not going to do that by hiding under your bed. You have to be out there selling yourself, marketing yourself, and telling the world about what you need to offer to them. Okay, so I think Matthias didn't come. Bella, I want to close this call.
There's another question. Someone asked how they can handle procrastination, like tips on how to handle procrastination.
Okay, how to handle procrastination. Okay, so you realize that we procrastinate because of so many reasons. The reason as to why we procrastinate, number one, some of us don't have the knowledge to do a particular thing. Okay, so we are not so sure whether what we are going to do is right. And then some of us, it's because of the doubts. Some of us, it's because of the fear. Some of us, people pleasing and wanting validation from other people. Okay. Otherwise, in the mentorship, I am running a challenge that says go crazy, because some of us just need to go crazy to go mega and do the things that we are supposed to do. Okay, while fear is holding you back and while you are procrastinating and pushing things into tomorrow, as in it's not helping you. Think about what kind of money do you want to earn, what kind of relationship do you want to have, okay, what kind of life do you want to enjoy. Do you want to procrastinate on it? Okay, you're not willing to procrastinate on that kind of life. So ask yourself, why are you procrastinating? Is it wanting validation? Is it the fear of the unknown? Is it the doubts that you have about yourself? Some of you are not confident at all. Lack of confidence causes procrastination. Low self-esteem causes procrastination. Not knowing, go and get a skill. The moment you know that, okay, this is it. For example, if you're driving and you're driving to Entebbe, but you don't know the route, you realize that your speed is going to be limited. But if you drive to Entebbe and you know your way, I mean, you're just cruising all the way. You're going to go faster. Why? Because you know the way. Get a skill, understand, consult, ask someone. Do not die alone. This information is out there. Some of us are out there to help. Okay, I mean, my services are highly charged, but you realize that this is a free call. This is a free call. Just imagine. Okay, and that means in this group of the dream club, you can be able to access me anytime and ask any question. So ask yourself, why are you? Some of us procrastinate, by the way, because of the trauma that is happening inside of us. You were heartbroken and now you're holding yourself around that same place. You're not doing anything useful. Sometimes you even get to doing something and your mind goes blank. Some of you have insomnia. Some of you cannot even sleep because you have so many issues inside of you that you have not yet dealt with. And now you want to show up in the world of business and think that everything is going to work itself up. Some of us are different. Some of us can work while we are heartbroken and we give it a whole, while some of us will hold back, will procrastinate, and will self-sabotage at so many angles until our businesses are actually dying. Okay, so I need you to ask yourself those questions and find out, why exactly are you procrastinating? There is a reason. Dig deep. You will find it. Okay, Bella, time to go. Madam President, give us your last words. We close the call.
Thank you so much for really fantastic. Thank you all for attending. We really appreciate you for attending. Everyone has attended and they have learned. Thank you so much. And continue. God bless you for the knowledge that you did in life. We appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, have a good night. Good night, good night. And for my people on YouTube, good night as well. Thank you so much for joining us. I know that so many people are going to be able to rewatch this even when we had a bit of interferences, but thank you for keeping around. And thank you for those that have contributed. The comments, I have seen them. And let's keep learning. I am here. You should not do not give yourself an excuse for not making it. No, we all must make it. Okay, we all must make it. I don't want to leave you behind, so get in touch. My number is 0757 117 117. Get in touch. Let's get to business. All right, bye bye.